So let's talk about this. What is the first goal in this deal? The first goal is become a team developer. That's the first goal, just to at least position you so that you're able to capitalize on all that the comp plan is willing to pay. So what I mean is, you've got to first get your person on your left, get your person on your right, and then help them do the same. Get their person on their left, get their person on their right. Once you've done just that, you at least, if they all get started with family packs or above, you at least have gotten to the 20% commission payout. And you also now are eligible for all the check matches and all the other benefits that come with hitting team developer. So guys, put your blinders on and don't look left or right until at least you get that done. That should be a goal that is set to get done within the first 7 days, the first 14 days. Worst case scenario, set the pressure on yourself to get that done within 30 days or less. I don't think it should take anyone longer than 30. I think it should take no less than 7 or no more than 7. So make this happen, team. And look, don't worry about if you haven't gotten it done and you've been in for longer than 30 days. I don't want anyone feeling insulted by my words, because I want you to understand you can always hit a mental reset. Hit the reset button right now. And let's talk about what you have to do to hit team developer within 7 to 14 days from right now. So let's talk about this. We have used this analogy for years in this business. Why? Because it works. And how many of you have heard the expression, if it's not broken, don't fix it? So here's what I want to teach you guys. Look, there are different ways to build your business, but foundationally, there's a simple approach that we all use, and we keep it where it's duplicable and people know that they're confident they can get it done. So let's talk about this. It's the baseball diamond. Now, you may not be a sports fan. You may not even understand the game, but I'm willing to bet that you understand enough to know that anyone that goes around the bases and scores, that's a good thing. Someone gets to first base, someone gets to second, someone gets to third, and they score. That team scores a run. Now, we all know the team that has the most runs wins the game. There is no difference in our industry and our business specifically, because scoring in our business team is someone coming to you and saying, I'm in. I want to get started in the business, or I'm in. I want to get a helo. That's scoring. They either want to become a customer or they want to join your team. So the reality is this, team, is when you are getting people to score, you say, okay, well, who am I going to go after? And what you want to do is start with your warm market. I like to jokingly say to people, start with your warm market, because that's your practice. Those are the people that are going to be the toughest. Those are the ones that are going to be judgmental. Those are the ones that know you've never made $1 million if you haven't. Those are the ones that know that you've never done business before if you haven't. So you just go after them just to get the kinks out early on, but understand it's a process. And I'll give you guys this simplified process that even some of our family members can overcome based on the way that you approach this. If you don't deviate from what we're teaching you here, this thing works. And here's what I mean. How does someone get to first base? Well, if we know that let me go back to this baseball diamond, because I want you to think about what we were taught as children. As kids, we've always been taught things are as easy as what? 1, 2, 3. Things are as simple as what? A, B, C. So even as a child, we understood that. Well, in this business, it's as easy as 1, 2, 3. First base, second base, third base, score. That's what we want you to do. So now, what is first base? How do you get a potential partner? Some people call it prospect. How do you get a prospect on first base? It's very simple. Get them to watch, or at least agree to watch, the 2-minute video or the newer 5-minute video. Whatever peaking tool that you want to use that and consider that to be first base. For those that do know sports, that means you've got a base hit, guys. Look, get your prospect on first base. How do you do that? It's very simple language. You don't want to feel like you've got to talk exactly like Steve Carter or exactly like Ramasio Fulcher or Jeremy Roma or Mike Sims or Chad or Natita or Shanita. Look, you don't have to do it exactly like individuals, but you want to know that the whole purpose is, can I get someone to at least click a link take 2 minutes out of their life, maybe 5, depending on which link you want to send them. And I'm not strict about whichever one you want to use. There are different versions of the short video that explains what our device is about and explains that there's an opportunity mixed in with that device. So all we want to do initially is get that person on first base. So I'll give you guys an example. If it's family members or friends, which we call warm market, that's an easy thing to do. You know, hey, Chad, listen, man, I came across something that's pretty doggone strong, and there's an opportunity where we can generate some income. I think it could be very lucrative for the both of us. Is it okay if I send you a link to a 2-minute video for you to take a look at it? Now, here's the thing. Notice what we did. And I just believe psychologically asking for permission is powerful because they're saying yes. I don't know too many people that have ever said no to that. Hey, look, I found something that's pretty powerful. I think it could be lucrative for the both of us, man. Would you be okay if I send you a video link? I can text it to you right now, but it's a 2-minute video. I'd love for you to get a chance to take a look at it whenever you have a minute. Nobody's ever told me, no, don't send me that. It doesn't work, guys. I mean, that absolutely works. So ask permission that you can send them something for them to look at. Make sure that you say to them, it's a 2-minute video or it's a 5-minute video. Don't just say, can I send you something? And when you get a chance, look at it, because they may be thinking it's 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour. They don't have a whole lot of time to do that. So be specific with your with your family and friends. Just look, it's 2 minutes. I'm going to send you this. Take a look at it when you get a minute and send it. They're on first base when that happens. So once they watch that, if there's any form of positive response, I don't care what it is, even if they say something as general as, that's pretty interesting, then you want to immediately get them to second base. Now, let me tell all of you, in my opinion, what second base is. Second base is any form of a presentation, any form of a full overview. That can be a live webinar. That can be a local meeting at a hotel. That can be a Zoom meeting. That could be anything where the presentation is being done. It can be a recorded overview. But just understand, for the new people, you're not having to do that presentation. So after someone sees the 2-minute video, any questions that they have, deflect that to base number 2, second base. You don't want to get into answering a bunch of questions because you're new. If you're new, it doesn't mean unintelligent. It doesn't mean you don't know what you're talking about. It just means you don't have all the information. New does not mean stupid. New does not mean an idiot. It doesn't. So don't hesitate to tell people, look, I'm new. I don't have all the answers. However, I want to send you a full overview where you can see how this business model works. We've got this person, this gentleman or this young lady who did this presentation and it's recorded. Now, if you know there's an upcoming live event, I always believe live events, depending on who the presenter is, if that person knows how to present well, a live event is so attractive versus a recording. Now, recordings are great because they're available 24/7. But if a live presentation is taking place, whether it's a Zoom, hotel meeting, living room meeting, which we don't do a lot of those now because everything we do is electronic now, which has been incredible. But the point is, all you want to do, if they've got questions or they say, look, that's interesting, I like what I see, how can I get one of those? Hey, listen, before you make those decisions, I'd love for you to see a full overview of this business model. And say, I'm going to send you one more link. And this one's just a little longer than 5 minutes. This is probably more like 30 minutes or whatever the time of that event is. Or look, tonight, Mr. Jeremy Roma or Mr. Mike Sims or anybody is going to be doing a presentation tonight. Please carve out some time. I'd love for you to see how this works because I think it'll really open your mind to what we can possibly do together. And I think the psychology of saying what we can do, it can be lucrative for us. These are the things that are so important when you're having a dialogue with somebody. Now, if they see the overview, like what they see, what's the next base we're going to send them to, family? We already know it's third base. So what is third base? Third base means connecting your person with your senior partner, the person that can articulate it, the person that has the verbiage, the person that knows what he or she is talking about. That's who you want to get your potential partner on the phone with. I teach my team in particular, listen, if they've already seen first base and second base, all I want you to do is send a text. Get permission first, but get permission to send a text to both me and that potential partner together. I want it to be a 3-way group text. And I want you to send me something that says, Mr. Carter, my buddy John took a look at both videos and is interested. That's all I need to know, because I know that's a third base call for me. That's someone that now I want to just simply get on the phone with that person. And I really want to talk more about the duplicating process that we have. I don't have to reiterate a lot of what the video talked about, because when somebody sees a second base video, they already know the name of the company. They already know how much it costs to get in. They already know the products that we have. They already know the compensation plan. They already know it's a jet program. They already know people have gotten Lamborghinis. They already know all of these things that a new person does not necessarily know how to explain. So that's the reason to use these tools and resources, so that you're not having to be the one to go over this if you're new. So third base is for us to come in and help you close the deal. We want to get that person from third base to score across home plate. Home plate, again, is that person saying, you know what, I'm in. You got a new partner or you got a new customer. That's what scoring is. And if we can do that on a daily basis, folks, let me tell you something. This team and this company and this organization will explode. Now, before we close out, let me say this. The bigger market of the two, which the one that people are most afraid to go after, is the cold market. And I want to give you a little bit of language before we wrap up, guys, because this is critical for you all mastering how to be unstoppable everywhere you go around the world. I tell people all the time, it's unrealistic to think that you can leave your house and not see another human being. So don't tell me that you don't have people to talk to. Don't tell me that you've run out of folks. Everywhere you go, there's a human being walking somewhere, driving somewhere, sitting somewhere, standing somewhere, and they don't know about World Global Network. And guess what? They need to find out about it from you or individuals on your team that you've taught how to duplicate this process. You want to have soldiers all over the world duplicating and knowing exactly how to do the process that we're teaching you. And so here's the deal. Cold market is different. You don't know that person. What we don't want for any of you to do is run up on people, piquing their interest. Are you open to making money? Or I got my hands on something. They don't know you, so you don't do it that way. Let me give you a tip that absolutely works. People's favorite subjects are themselves. There's nothing right or wrong about that. It's just a fact. People's favorite subjects are themselves. So let me tell you how to get the invisible wall that's around them and between you and them. Let me tell you how to get the invisible wall to disappear. Is pay a genuine compliment. You will be amazed that when you pay a compliment to somebody, that wall disintegrates. And you can say something like, hey, listen, you know, I really like that purse. I would love to get that purse from my wife. Did you happen to get that here in Dallas? That's an example of a man piquing a woman, or a young lady. Women do it all the time. Girl, those are some sharp shoes or whatever. So women have no problem complimenting each other. Guys, we got to get over that pride to think it's not cool to compliment somebody. I've got no problem walking up to somebody and saying, man, that is a sharp car. Man, that's a sharp tie you got on. Man, I like that leather briefcase. I got no problem with that because I understand what I'm doing. What I'm doing is paying a compliment. Now, let me share this with you, is that you've got to understand that when you approach somebody knowing that you're planning on piquing their interest, you've got to also respond based on the way they respond. I can't tell you how many people that I did not continue piquing their interest because they did not give me a warm reception, or they made me feel that they weren't interested in talking, or I felt they didn't have time to discuss, or maybe they just kind of gave a cold shoulder. No problem. They never knew I had a miracle in my mouth. They never knew it. But if someone responds favorably and they say something, you know, friendly to you and thank you and start giving you advice on where they got the briefcase or where they got their tie, then you can open up a dialogue. And here's some verbiage you can use that I've used for 20 years and it works. I've always said, if I get into a conversation with somebody and they're stationary for at least 10 seconds or more, and I'm able to pay a compliment and they give a warm reply back, well, then as I'm talking, I may say, listen, hey, I'm Steve. Let me ask you a question. I'd say anytime I meet somebody as sharp as you, I just feel compelled to share what I do in business. I would love to exchange contact with you so that we can I can get you some information about what I'm doing. There's an opportunity to generate some pretty significant income right here in Dallas. Now, let me repeat that really quickly. Hey, listen, what's your name? My name is Natita. Natita, listen, anytime I meet somebody as sharp as you, I just feel compelled to let that person know what I'm doing in business. You need to see what I'm doing. I'd love to send you some information. You have an email, or maybe I can text you something, but I just want to get you some information. Now, when guys are talking to young ladies, let me tell the men something, that you have to understand that you can't erase the dynamics of life. So if I'm piquing a woman, then I may compliment something like a purse, something like a pair of shoes. And I may say, listen, those are beautiful. I would love to get a pair for my wife. And that way they know now it's not a flirt thing. It's just a compliment. And so you open up the dialogue, and I may even say, look, you and my wife, you all would be best of friends because I can tell you all would love to shop together, something like that. And then I'm knowing, look, I'd love to exchange contact with you. Anytime I meet somebody as sharp as you, my wife and I just feel compelled to share what we do in business. It's an incredible opportunity we've got our hands on. I'd love to send you an email or send you a text if you're comfortable sharing your cell phone with me. Either way, I'd like to get you some information. And you get their contact. And you can do this all day long. Now, ladies, I'm going to wrap it up with this. Ladies have always said to me, and Pasha has done an extraordinary job teaching this, is that when ladies are out, here's the thing. When you're talking to people, one thing about ladies being out, you all usually have a nice advantage over men. And it's a great thing. And what I mean is men tend to approach ladies far more than a lady approaches a man on any subject. So understand, when men come to you, if you happen to be an attractive young lady and men come to you every day flirting, as long as they're respectful, here's something you can use. And I shared this on the interview I did with Ramasio. And listen, a woman that's approached by a man, and a man is being respectful, but he's talking and being friendly. Here's what you can say. Whether you're in a relationship or not, you can say something like this. Listen, say you're in a relationship. A woman could say something like, listen, I appreciate the compliment. However, I'm happily in another relationship, or I'm happily married. However, with your personality, I think you'd be attracted to what I do in business. I would love to exchange contact with you and let you know what I've got my hands on. And I'm going to tell you right now, that man is immediately going to be like, well, what is it? What do you have your hands on? Because the worst thing that a woman can do is knock a man's ego down before that man even knows that you have an opportunity. So don't do that. Pasha always teaches, don't be rude because someone flirts. That's a compliment, as long as they're doing it respectfully. But that's just ways that you can do this, guys, to where everywhere you go, there are people that don't know about World Global Network. And if you recognize you've got $1 million mouthpiece, you've got a miracle in your mouth, everywhere you go, it's game on. And so as long as you're able to do that, as soon as you get the contact, you've won. Everybody's selling whenever you're out. They're either selling you on why they don't want to exchange contact, or you're selling them on why you'd like to exchange contact. And look, if someone gives me pushback that they're not interested in talking, I keep it moving. I never continue to peak. I don't force it. I want it to always feel natural, and I want it to always feel comfortable. And I always want to feel like I'm giving them a blessing. I'm not chasing anybody because I know I've got the goose with the golden egg, and they just aren't aware of it yet. So everywhere you go, team, same process for cold market. Do it everywhere you go, and understand this. Last slide I'll show you is this. If you're looking to build your business on a very part-time basis, I still believe minimally talk to 2 people every single day. 2 people every day. New people that have never heard of this company. Get to 2 people every day, even if you consider yourself part-time, you work a full-time job, your schedule is packed, and you don't have a whole lot of time to do it. 2 a day is still a minimum that I encourage everyone to do. Moderate building, those that say, well, you know what? I don't want to make my minimums my maximums. Well, I say, look, pick it up. Do 5 a day. Every day, 5 new people that didn't know about World Global Network, they know about it now because of you, and teach your team to do the same. But those that are aggressive, and you want to really make it happen, set a goal for 10 a day. Everywhere you go, 10 a day. And guess what? If you did that, think about it. If you did 10 a day, in 1 month, 300 people found out about World that did not know about it prior to you opening your mouth. 300. If 90% of them are not interested, which that doesn't happen in this business. 50% of the people that see Hilo are excited, if not 80%. But if 90% told you to go jump in the lake, they're not interested, stay away from me. 10% that do say they like what they hear, that's 30 people that you got that might join your business in a calendar month. That's one a day. So it's all a numbers game, team. This is about work ethic, not talent. You cannot have a $10 work ethic and think you're going to make millions of dollars like those of us that have done it. I mean that with respect. I love all of you. I hope that all of you take to heart what I've shared with you, and I'm going to pass it back over to my partners, Chad and Natita. Thank you for the time. I appreciate it.
Income disclosure notice. Practicality dictates that everyone's results will vary, as we are all unique and different. Basically, it takes hard work to make a substantial income in this business, and some people will make no money at all. The earnings of a World Global Network partner will be 100% dependent upon their skills, work effort, commitment, leadership capabilities, and market conditions. Common sense would suggest that in most opportunities, one would find exceptional individuals performing well above average, while others perform under the average. World Global Network does not guarantee any level of income or your success. To see our full income disclosure, please visit our website at www.worldgn.com.